What up, YouTube? Bam, and welcome to Wolf King's Vids. Alright, now, today we're going to be dealing with this channel's most favorite and, well, tolerated Creatard, Ronnie, aka True Empiricism, and he's going to talk to us about, the mythical belief of men living to be 1,000 years old and essentially giants. So, let's just hear what he has to say. Morani?
I want to investigate this to see if this is actually a possibility for men to live hundreds of years or 1,000 years. I'll be starting with a guy by the name of Caleb Finch, I believe his name is. That's not his name. I'll put it in a little annotation beside so that you guys can check out his name and go check out his work and his research. Caleb Finch, he's an expert in human aging. He stated that if the mortality rate, it's based on a hypothetical, that if the mortality rate were decreased to 1% every year as to that of sexual maturity, that it would be possible for men to live 12 centuries. This is a hypothetical.
So if the mortality rate was decreased to 1%, it would be possible for men to live 12 centuries. Okay, well, first of all, that's complete nonsense for a specific reason. If you're talking about a mortality rate, that's the rate of people in population with regard to death. How basically like how many people die in a population based on certain things. Now, if it was decreased to 1%, which is ridiculously minimal, the environment would have to be somewhat I don't know, like so well suited for these organisms that they would essentially, the population would just grow rapidly and out of control. However, this is based on a hypothetical, and more importantly, I feel like this statement sort of violates the correlation causation thing, because even if this was the case and the population grew rapidly, there's still no connection to humans living well beyond um, basically 100 years or like close to that, because the reason we actually the reason we have the capacity to live uh, like better within modern times is because we have technological advances to actually improve our standard of living. So
So if it's possible for men to live 12 centuries, let's take this into consideration and let's think about this for a second.
why you haven't demonstrated that it's actually possible. You're just speaking in terms of speculation, sort of like I mean, it's sort of ironic because you want to talk about scientists not having the capacity to actually understand the world, but you're just idly speculating on how this is going to be true when it's actually not.
You would still have to deal with the issue of men's appearance and men's physical characteristics and their internal organs. Because the oldest man or woman on the planet that lived was about 122 years, because the oldest that a man or a woman has lived is about 122 years. Uh, so you still have to deal with the physical characteristics and physical appearance and the internal organs as to see as to how a person would be able to maintain itself. So extend or pacify its youthfulness. Well, what are some of the reasons why people age? Well, the collagen in your skin depletes every year 1%, starting at the age of 20. You also have the depletion of the elastin, especially in lighter complected people, because white people do not have the protection that the melanin offers them from the UVB radiation that comes through the atmosphere. So that starts to deplete the elastin within the skin, and so it keeps the skin from being able to keep itself from maintaining, keeping its firmness. This is one of the another reasons is also the depletion of the bone structure in the skin. You lose your muscle tone.
Wait. Hold on. You're only talking about the effects of aging. You're not talking about the main cause. You're begging the question. This is ridiculous. See, the reason it's amazing you want to talk about cells, but you don't understand like the fact that they deteriorate over time. This is like intrinsic with the DNA, and the fact that aging is a result of the damages with regard to cells. Cells break down over time. Okay. Now, with regard to how to slow down this process, there's a thing such as having a good diet and exercising, which more or less slows down the effects of aging, so humans could actually have the capacity to live like longer than usual. But this is going back to the whole mortality rate thing. See, the reason we understand and have the capacity to live up to at least the age of 75 is because we have the agricultural and the medical advances that humanity has actually made in the last 300 years. If you go back to say the just based on the bones and the artifacts that we have, that we've estimated to be millions of years old, if you go back to down to the Neolithic era, or the Paleolithic era, if you were like around 30, you were an old man, because you're not just dealing with the effects of aging. You're dealing with the fact that you're in an environment that's hostile to you, with regard to predators and diseases. And if you get injured, you don't have the capacity to actually to deal with that injury or that sickness. And there are also stresses that could impact the people as well, that could shorten their lifespan. There are tons of factors working against your ridiculous little notion or your hypothesis that this is actually possible. So I really don't see how this stuff works up. I mean, if anything, with regard to evolutionary theory, this makes sense in that framework. But because it's all about like survival of the fittest, how plastic can organisms be to their environment. But this just makes no sense at all.
Bones, your bones, your bone density, and what ends up happening is because it's shrinking. Your skin is also losing its elastic hold because of the elastic.
Skip.
And especially now, I mean, you also have to take into consideration of the ozone layer, the depletion of the ozone layer, especially for the last couple of decades. I believe that the fluorocarbons, when they come into the atmosphere from the chemicals that we're producing, they basically interact with the oxygen. When the chlorine is broken off, the chlorine breaks off, interacts with the oxygen, and it just depletes or rips apart the ozone molecules that are in the atmosphere. So when you see this happening, when you see the depletion of the ozone layer happening, the chemicals, the UVD and the UV radiation coming into the skin, it causes the skin to age much, much quicker. So these two factors have to be taken into consideration, like the physical characteristics of man and the environment, the environmental factor as well. There are studies that show.
Except the fact that with the environment, they actually have selective pressures that work against the organisms, and the organisms, if they want to survive, they basically have to strive for the best traits to be breeded into the population, while the rest of them are weeded out. Like I said, this is population dynamics, but you have no understanding of that. So
That if the ozone layer was taken back to its original state, the environment would have been different, because there have been studies that show they put piranhas and they basically an enclosure basically, and they let it grow in this environment where the electromagnetic activity that was being produced in the atmosphere from this environment that decides putting it in. The piranha grew about 4 or 5 times the size as the normal piranha, which would suggest that we would not only be much probably healthier, but much larger as well. And this would probably explain why the dinosaurs were so big as well.
okay. I can't entertain this bullshit anymore. Okay, this is the last point I'm gonna actually bring up. First of all, that last statement was complete bullshit. You can look at there have been discoveries in anthropology and paleontology which demonstrates that with our central lineage, we're seeing an increase in size, not a decrease. I mean, you can look at Homo habilis, for example, which was estimated to live about 2 million years ago. It was no more around 150 centimeters tall. Their ancestors, Australopithecus, were 100 centimeters. So that bullshit, what you're talking about with regard to us descending from thousand-year-old giants, it's complete nonsense. It's magic. It's religion. It's creationism. That this is why this crap isn't taught in school, Ronnie. It's silly. It's not. There's no demonstrable evidence that actually supports that. As far as the science actually tells us, we are a biological species that have been evolving in a natural world, and basically through natural selection and random mutation, it has produced a variety of different species, all well adapted to our environments. Nothing you're saying is backed up with any factual data whatsoever. It's all nonsense, and it's done. All right, I'm done critiquing this retard. All right, this has been Wolf King. Peace out. If you like this video, you know what to do. 1,000-year-old man, what a retard.